Okay, continuing on with traces. This is where we left off. Let's see here. My biggest concern right now is the 1.1 volt line. Let's see if I can get a schematic up here. So we've got this 1.1 volt line that is fed in over here at pin 23 and also pin 50 and pin 45, and then there's a cap to ground on there for filtering. And here's the three traces. Here's one here, here's one here, there's the cap, and the other one's clear down here. So I need those all to connect. And let's start up here with this. Again, we're going to have to be using a pretty thin trace to get this stuff to connect. Let me say I want to go from here, and those lines go down, that one goes up. I still need a 3.3 volt lines there too. So I need to have space for a, let me just bring that up. And I'm going to come clear over here because I may have to put a via in there. And I'm going to come up from this one. And let's go the other direction. I want this one. And I want to come up there. Okay, so there's part of it. Now the other part, which is a little harder to get to, is clear down here. So I want it to go to here. Let's start drawing it from this side and bring it around. And I'm going to stay underneath the part. The zoom works weird on this. Okay, so I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to stop. Now I'd like to come straight up into this. That'd be great, except I haven't got space there. I've got these other parts in the way. Let me delete off for the moment this trace, and this via, and let me redraw those. Let's see, my grid's set big. I'm going to set my grid a little finer so I have a little bit more leeway of moving the dots around. Okay, and I want a via, and I want to put it as close as I can and down as far as I can. Okay, so if I can get that there, then maybe I've got enough room to get this. This is what I want to get. So I want this guy. It looks like we can do that. Okay, so that one's now connected. Now I got to fix what I broke here. And I want to take this blue one that we just blasted off of there. There. Okay, so that gets me down to 47 traces. So those took care okay. Now we've got this two 3.3 lines here, so we can connect those. And I know I'm going to have to flip to the other side because I can't get out of this caged area here. And then I'm going to come back in with this one and also connect it to there. Okay, so there's the 3.3. I need to connect it to the rest of the 3.3s. There's 3.3 over here. That's going to be really tough to get to. We've got a bunch of 3.3s that can come in through here also. And I got some ground traces to come in yet too. So let's see where we can get with that. We've got a ground trace right here. Again, we're still at 0.6. Let me just connect that in there. So that'll be connected to that ground. That's 45 traces left. I'm going to bring a big ground trace up this way. And we've got it right here. So let me make a big one. And I'm going to flip it to the other side right away. Let me bring it. I want to bring it over far enough that it doesn't get in my way, because I'm going to have to go to the blue side. Okay. Oops. Let's go blue. Okay. And I want to come up just far enough to get this stuff to connect. So I need a via in here. So we're just going to do a via right there. Okay. So now what I need to connect is red traces to the switch. It can be big. That's not going to cause me any grief. This one can be red. I've got an LED here. This is really kind of in a funky spot. Let me connect up this one. This trace is going to, you know, I can flip this over and that'll be a little bit better, I think. Let me, because it's closer to where I need to go and it doesn't hurt me. So I can just move that. And I got to get a trace there eventually anyway. So let me do that. This is a simple trace. Let's just grab it while we're here. So that's all taken care of. I need to get these grounds connected. So let me go back up to the thick again. And I just want to come over here and then down to this guy. I can do this. Okay, we're down to 39. What do we got down here yet? Okay, here's a 3.3 volt line that needs to connect. So all it needs to do is get to a via, and then the big blue trace below it is that already. Again, we're going to have to be 6 mils to come off those pads though. So there's that via, put that there, and like that. Okay, so there's that, down to 38. Okay, so how are we going to do? That's the LED trace. I need to get that out of here somewhere. Let me bring a 3.3 just right underneath all of these going up. I think that'll be convenient because I'm not going to put any vias in here. So let me just go ahead and dig a big trace going up because I'm going to need it there anyway. So this, I want blue side. Okay. So I'm just going to come right and I'm going to come right up to where I want to put a via. Okay. So now I've got 3.3 volts up closer to where I need it. This can still be big. I need this pin 43. What the heck is that? Pin 43. Oh, that's the ADD converter. It's on a couple of it's got a resistor capacitor to just filter it out a little better. I'm not even sure I'm going to use it, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. So I'll do a 12 mil. I think I can get by with that. Nope, won't let me. We'll go back to 6. And trace. Okay, there's those parts. We're down to 35. This ground pad still is not connected to the rest of the grounds. We do need to figure out how to do that. You know, this is clear here. And there's the ground. And it's all on the back side, so we're okay. We can do that. So I'm going to just take this ground. We're at 6 mils. I still need the 6 mils to get away from here. Okay, let me just bring it out just a little bit. And then I'm going to come in from the other direction, big. And I'm going to come from here. Oops. And put it there. That's not very pretty. Okay. Well, doesn't make a whole lot of difference. We're down to 34. Okay. I've got an LED here that I need to run to here. We're on the wrong side. It's going to take a couple of vias. So let's just do that. But that's an LED. We can run that with a 6mm trace. Let me just... I don't like to put vias on pads. It will let me. But I really don't like that. Okay, so there's that. There's no reason not to put it just right like that. Let me come down here. Okay, 33. Now I've got these 3 wires. We're getting pretty well cleaned up down here. I don't see much left. Oh, we've got this to... Oh, there's a 3.3 there that needs to connect. Okay. Again, the 3.3 will have to come off as red. And then we're going to do a via. And then it just needs to come right back to that trace. Okay, what else we got that's wires? I've got these 3 that need to go up. And they need to go all the way up here. And the blue traces are the only thing that's getting in our way. So we should be fine to get all 3 of those up. And I've got this part here that needs to connect in. So that all looks pretty good. I need power and ground. And so that should be good. Let's see, what else? What else is ground? Ground is on pin 1 and pin 4. So let me connect those just to get their traces a little smoother. 24, just because I can. And then I need this to go to ground. Well, how convenient. There's a ground right there. 3.3 volt. Again, we're going to have to jump back and forth just a little bit. I can move these parts. They don't need to be right there. Let me move them up a little bit. So we're still on a big trace, so I can say I want to run a trace from there to there. I can't quite stay that big, I don't think. Let's go down just a notch. This guy's going to have to move a little bit. Let me just rotate him just to make him a little easier to put where I want. Because I'm going to need vias in here. Here's a ground leg. This 5 volts is, here's my 3.3 that comes up. So we can bring that up as blue already. Blue. I'm just going to leave it at the 20 mils. And then I'm going to do a via. And then it's going to come on up to that guy. There's power for our IRDA interface. Still have a wire over here that has to go. And then that can just, as blue. Well, I got those 3 that have to go in. That has to come in. The ground wire is always in the wrong spot. Okay, let me... you know, the vias just don't cost anything. Let me just be lazy and just do it that way to get it done. Pin 2 isn't connected. That's already connected to ground. We got +3 to there. I still need +3 over here. So let me put in another via. Let me go stay on blue. And I'm just going to come up here a little bit because I know the other guys are going to be a via. Okay. So this will just be fine. There's a ground. We're down to 23, and I've got these 3 traces to come down. I've got these that have to be connected and the accelerometer. I think we can get those done. Okay, so these guys come up. I'm just going to bring them straight up, 6 mil. I've got clear on the blue side, so we'll just bring them up and then make them blue when we get to the top. Or we got to switch to blue right away, so I guess. So we'll take this one. We just need to get out so we can get a via. Oh, they're going to do that. Okay, I understand. I need, the top one needs to go to the far side, so they all reverse, huh? So if I'm going to do that, what I'll want to do is I'll want to take this and put it over as far as I can get it. I could move them, but you know, I'm just going to delete them because I mean that way I know what I'm doing better. Okay, so I want to do a via, but I want to put it over. And a via. There's 22 left. And this one, I'm going to guess, I want that via up there quite a ways. Okay. Zoom out, zoom in. Because there's going to be another one. Okay. 21 left. Okay, so now I've got this guy. Come out. It won't let me do a via. Okay. Need just a little bit more room. I'm going to, this trace is in my way for the moment. So I'm going to redraw it first. Okay, now let me try redrawing this one. Not quite enough room yet. Okay, let me delete this trace for the moment. And let me put this one in. Okay. Okay, so I just need to come in here for a via. Okay, so that one's done, but we broke something down here. Lots of room up here, so I'm going to take that spot a little bit. Let me just delete this trace and that one. Let me draw this next one in as close as I can, and that leaves plenty of room for this guy. Okay, down to 20. So that's all looking fine and dandy. That just leaves up in here. Shouldn't be too tough. Okay, let's see, what do we need? Do we need to move anything before we get too serious about this? The SDA line and SCL lines are here, so these need to go to vias. Trace this. Let me just put a via right there, and then to that. This one I'm going to bring right between these two. Come over and do a via. And we'll just put the via right there. Let me just do it this way. Okay. Down to 18. Now the SDA line needs to go up to here. Well, this is already blue and that, so I can just say with the blue one here, and I can just run that straight up. There's 17. The SCL line, that can stay red, so I can just come over here with that. And I want to stay pretty close over here. Okay. I have no idea what's going to happen in here yet, so we're trying to make sure I keep room. Here's the 3.3, and there's a via for it, so I can bring the 3.3 straight up. There's nothing on that side of the board. Let me get my trace width up again. And bring my 3.3 up. I got those blocking that, but this is clear, so let me just come up here. And I'm just going to go on around. Like that. There's the 3.3. That's 15 traces left. This guy, it's going to need a via because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble with the ground, I bet. So let me just take that, the via, just put it close. Okay, there's that. Now we've got several 3.3, we've got two 3.3s here. Pins 15 and 16 are not connected. That's just going to have to be small because there's just such small pins on this thing. There's 12. Let me move these test points down here. Okay, so I got SDA and that. Oh, I got a 3.3 there. Let's run that line. Now we've got grounds. Let me take the... Let's see, what do I want? What do I want? I want the SCL line and the SDA lines to come through. And these will probably stay on top. Let me go ahead and run. Oh, that test point has got a teeny thing. I need to have enough room there to put a via. Let me put the via in first. And then I can run the ground line around it. I mean, it's just a test point. I could actually get rid of it. Okay, so we've got that. SDA still has to go through. And get over here someplace, and SCL has to get through. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. I could have probably flipped the chip. That may have made more sense. Because the SCL and SDA are really in the wrong spot for that. Let me do that. I think that'll make more sense. Let me just delete these two traces. And this is pretty well isolated. And I'm going to try to flip it with all the parts. So I hit a bunch of escape keys. Then I'm going to take this and just swipe it like this. And then I'm going to rotate once and move it. And I'm going to put it right. I'm going to put it here like this. That might make it easier. Now my SDA line's straight in line, 3.3 volts, that's 3.3. We can just write, yeah, that looks good. Let's just do that. 6 mil. You know, it's really short. It's right there. So that's connected now. We're down to 10. The ground trace, we've got this already for ground that needs to be ground. So I'm going to run a heavy ground up to that anyway. So let me just do that. Let me put it in big. Ground. Via. Okay. Okay, so ground is connected. Now we're down to 9. We want our ground connect there. Well, that's an easy trace. I'm going to again make it small because of the way it's connected. Let's make it a little bigger though. Let's go for 12. Oh, it overrode me. Okay. Let me do this. Red line, start there, 12 mil. Okay, let me just... It keeps overriding me. Okay. Well, we'll just do the 6. And let me edit that. Let me edit that trace. Ground track properties, that's the 6 mil. I can actually just come in here and manually just say I want 12. That's still within specs. Okay. So what are we down to? We're down to 8. Now the SDA line and SCL lines are not too shabby. Let me get SDA connected. So that's a short, straight one. Oops. We're too big. I need to be 6. Trace that to there. And this one. You know, if I go through below that via, that'll get me there. When I don't have to add another via. Okay. 6 lines left. I got a ground down here that needs to be connected. Nothing else too exciting. Let me just... I kind of want to connect all these grounds to the same spot. So let me bring this one out. Via. Connect it to there. And then... let me just do this. There's 5. I gotta find him. There's one. That's an easy one. There's 4. There's a 3.3 volt line 2. Again, that's going to have to be a 6 mil. Red side. I can't get there without going through a via. And then everything connects to there. Okay. Back to red side again. And this one, we're down to 2. And that's the test points. So let me move this one over here for the moment and move this one over here. Probably won't even need these, but I thought I would use them, put them in there. And 6 mil via, and then they connect up to that one. 1 trace left, and I just want to come down to there for that. Okay, so let me just move this guy to there, and this comes up. Didn't allow quite enough room on that ground trace, so we'll delete it off for a moment. There's a way of shoving it. I have to go back and look it up though. Okay. And I need the trace there. Okay, so this has got to be a via though. That's really tight. It won't let me do that because this is still kind of goofy. Let me get rid of, let's see. So close. Okay. Let's delete that trace out and delete this for the moment. Let me get this other thing in here because I need that ground to connect a little smoother. And I can put that via in much, much, much lower. They just need to go over the 1 trace. Can I get inside there? It won't even let me do that. Okay. So, blue side, come up. I just need to get over that piece via. And then I want to stay way outside here. That. Okay. Everything's routed. Save the work. Zoom out full scale. We still have work to do. I'm not ready to... I mean, technically I could probably order the board right now. It would come in. The problem is all the labels are in really, really bad spots. So next video is to put some labeling on this stuff and move the labels that are there around. So I think we'll stop right there.